one of the fundamental principles the Course in Miracles repeats over and over is the law of cause and effect, which basically says that for every thought, belief, or action, there's an equivalent reciprocal effect that comes back to us. So essentially, what we give out is what we get back. And as I've been, really allowing that to sink in, I've started to see how essential principles like compassion are to our path of peace. So one of the things that I've been studying recently in my study of yoga is a book called The Yoga Revolution. One of our yoga teachers, Meg at Wild Heart Yoga, is holding a badass book club this Saturday. And it's given me an opportunity to dig into really some of the higher level ethical principles around yoga that I find align really nicely with my study of A Course in Miracles. And some of what I've been coming to understand this week, just diving into the book, which is subtitled Building a Practice of Compassion and Courage. So that kind of gives you a sense of, overall where the focus is. But I'll share an interview between Jivana Heyman, who's the author of the book, and Shelby Lee. And what it really gave me a primer to was just an understanding of the different barriers that a lot of people face in accessing their yoga practice. And they go into, a great discussion around the types of compassion that teachers and other practitioners like myself can have for members of our community, which I really hadn't, kind of thought of like that before. So, it kind of got me diving into, kind of what is this connection or correlation between, the compassion that I extend to others and how that comes back to, me and my experience of peace in the different, kind of parts of my life that I'm going through. And one thing that they shared that, really landed for me was they said, when we feel an external safety, it helps us to better access our internal experience. So, kind of just in the context that I live in, there are a lot of scenarios where I'm not always aware of, kind of what an experience of safety is like, because it doesn't, always occur to me, particularly as a man in a lot of cases, where others, kind of may have more of a sensitivity. And so that's, something that, I've been learning and, practicing, bringing better awareness to. But they kind of gave some great examples because really, and this is, been my experience of my yoga practice, that, kind of the physical, asanas are what give me access to the inner experience. So that, kind of calmness or feeling the energy that flows through me through, kind of a sequence of flows or different challenging postures. And then that's when I get that, kind of experience of divine energy, that experience of peace and shavasana at the end of practice. And that's where, for me, the growth and the miracles happen, is that inner experience. So, I love that foundation of, how can we give all of our yoga community that feeling of safety so that we can all have that experience of inner peace and growth. And then, it talks about, how advanced yoga is really an increased sensitivity to both our inner world as well as the inner world of others. And, I just love that contrast to, what we commonly think of as, kind of advanced yoga being really difficult postures. And as I studied, with one of our other teachers, Joe, last year, the ethical principles of yoga. It gave me so much more insight into how much of yoga is really about our inner world experience and practicing a tradition of ethics that's been handed down over thousands and thousands of years, and that is really where the depth of the study and practice comes from. So I really am taking on this opportunity to, as Jivana and Shelby talked about, we have this invitation as yoga practitioners to, recognize our shared humanity and oneness and look for those opportunities to, create more compassion for other members who we practice with in our yoga spaces. So wishing you peace, and I will be back tomorrow.